Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's been a absolutely lovely day after all the crazy fire weather we had and the actual fires, multiple over the last few days. And then last night we had some storms, brought in a decent amount of rain. I mean, it would have been nice to have some more, but we will get some more. They're saying probably 2 to 4 inches over the next 4 or 5 days or so. So we're excited about that because it has been so dry the last few months. I know it's always something, right? You know the saying, it's always something. But definitely something seems to be moving along because, I mean, it's only 5 more days to the election, right? And so we're all just anticipating something to happen, right? We're all just, is it going to happen before? Is it just going to be afterwards? Is there something to distract? There's still many folks that have beliefs and theories that there may not even be an election. Good Lord, got a big old long string coming out of me there. That there may not even be an election. That there could be some kind of declaration of an emergency or martial law or something like that. Well, anyways, a lot of things are going on today, internationally, globally. And I want to point those out and kind of show you that maybe something's, maybe. And it seems to be for right now in 3 kind of regions. So we'll just start with the first one, and that's the Middle East. Obviously, you're well aware that both Israel and Iran now are saying that they're getting ready to strike each other, right? News reports are saying that Iran is moving their missiles westward, and they believe that they're going to strike Israel from outside of from the Iraqi border. So there's been a lot of reports that missiles and troops and stuff have been moving the last day or so, and Iran says that they will probably strike Israel before the election. Interesting that they mentioned before the election. I mean, why would the Middle East care about an American election? Obviously they do. So they say that. The United States has said that if Iran does strike Israel before the election, that the United States will take that as election interference. Israel is also planning, and they have said that they will also do a retaliatory strike against Iran, and it will be soon, but they haven't given any strong indication of when that will be. So will there be just their missiles crossing in the air at the same time? Who knows? But that is definitely escalating. And the supreme leader of Iran has ordered their Congress, their version of Congress, to make the nation ready for a major strike. And they claim that it will be much greater with different weapons and all this kind of stuff than ever before, and that it will be a hard strike against Israel, not just some little slap on the wrist. So that's happening. Up in Russia and Ukraine, things are happening there. Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State, has stated today that 8,000 North Korean troops have moved to the front lines and that they are ready to start battle against Ukraine. Now, this in itself is a fairly significant escalation. We've been talking about it for the last few weeks, that these rumors and news has been going out about this. Because this brings another player, and if it's interesting because the news actually used the word officially, that they're officially there. NATO is saying, hey, you know, well, if Ukraine, if Russia is bringing in North Korea troops, then why can't Ukraine bring in troops elsewhere? Poland is actually has made special requests for them to be able to start shooting down Russian missiles and Russian planes, even if they're over Ukraine, not just over Poland. The European Union has issued an urgent warning to all of the citizens of Europe to start stocking up, that they need at least a 72-hour supply of food, medical stuff, water, all that. Trust me, whether you're in the United States or you're in Europe right now, you need way more than 72 hours. Way more. Like 72 days should be a minimum. 72 days should be the absolute minimum of stuff that you have. But things are escalating there. Ukraine has said that they've called up another 160,000 troops. And so that's going on, right? Moving over to North and South Korea, North Korea launched another intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, which they do from time to time. This one went further and higher than any other before. And mostly just general saber rattling. But what was interesting is that the Pentagon made a little kind of a side statement that if South Korea was threatened or invaded or anything by North Korea, that they would consider using nuclear weapons to defend South Korea. So there's that. Also, China, while has seemingly been quiet, especially about the North Korean troops. In fact, even the news has commented on how surprisingly quiet China has been. There's been several nations petition China asking for them to tell North Korea to take their troops back home. And China has said nothing. And we all know that North Korea doesn't, go to the bathroom without getting permission from China. And China has been very quiet, but they are doing more drills there in the Taiwanese Strait. For the first time, they're doing naval drills with 2 aircraft carriers. I don't know if that big of a significant thing, but there's definitely stuff going on there. So the point is that we're leading up to a major election that could affect things globally. Could very, very easily, regardless of which way the election goes, could very easily cause a civil war to happen here in the United States. And at the very, very least, at least civil unrest for weeks, maybe months at a time. And then we have this. We have all these things that I just mentioned. Also, it was yesterday in the news that there seems to be, surprisingly, coincidentally, there seems to be a surge of migrants at the southern border. More than normal. It's like they're trying to get in at the last minute. Maybe they're trying to get in because they think that the back door gate's going to be closed, or maybe they're all trying to get in real quick because there's plans for them to be used when they're here, whether it's to vote or to cause disruption. I don't know. But yeah, there's 5 days left, and there just seems to be a lot of stuff going on here. Here's the interesting thing. Of course, the news media isn't covering most of this stuff. They're covering the fact that, Donald Trump's political rally said something mean about Puerto Rico, that he's Hitler incarnate, that, all of this stuff like that. They're covering all that kind of stuff. I mean, even the conservative mainstream news, not that there really is, but you know what I'm saying, like Fox News and others. Of course, they're talking about how Kamala is all washed up, worn out. Of course, the big thing right now is garbage. All the MAGA people are garbage. And, of course, Trump's riding around in a garbage truck. That's all the stuff that's been in the news. Not just mainstream news, but also, like I said, conservative news, social media, because there's this big buildup to the election. Everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people are really excited about it. I mean, they're saying something like 65 million Americans have already voted. I mean, I've been around for a little while, and I don't remember ever hearing that many Americans have voted or even are able to vote early in an election. But yet it has happened already. That's a pretty significant number. Makes you wonder how many of them are legitimate votes, how many of them are legal, how many of them are illegals voting. And who knows? But there just seems to be a lot. And like I said, the especially the Middle East and Eastern Europe seem to be getting ready to go hot. And then who knows what's going on with North and South Korea. North Korea just seems to be hell-bent on starting up their conflict again, which has never ended. Most of you know this. The Korean War never officially ended. It was just a ceasefire. For whatever reason, they seem to think that they're under near attack. And maybe they are. Maybe we just don't know the full story. But I would say you should probably start preparing. Most of you I know have. But I'm recording this video Thursday evening, which means you have Friday, then you have the weekend, and you have Monday. And after that, so, you know, do you have all the fuel that you need topped off as much as you can? What about water, water filtration? I guess I mentioned the water filter, and I guess I put the wrong or bad link up. That has been fixed. So if you're interested in this, it's a Sagan Life water filter, very good quality and very reasonably priced. It's not the fancy indoor, your tabletop kind, but it's the kind, if you're storing large quantities of water, it will work just perfect for you. And the filters are very reasonable too, cheaper than all the other big, you know, named water filters. But, you know, do you have medicine stocked up? Do you have food stocked up? I mean, for those of you that are just starting off, I know I sounded kind of like I was joking earlier, but I'm serious. You need a minimum, a bare minimum of 72 days, not 72 hours, 72 days worth of food. Now, you maybe, if you had the money, you might be able to go out and stock up on that over the weekend, but still, you need to be putting it away as quickly as possible. And you need to be having a plan in case things do start to go crazy, because there's no guarantee there will. And I'm not making it a prediction. And honestly, if you sit down and probably come up with some kind of mathematical equation, I would guess that the odds are still in the favor of nothing happening. I know that's crazy for me to say, but I would guess that the odds are still in favor of nothing happening. But the odds of something dramatic and serious happening are certainly increasing. Make sure you have what you need. Ammunition, have a plan, have a comms, radios, whatever it is that you need. I'd be working on that pretty diligently over the next 5 days, because you don't know what's going to happen afterwards. And while it may be nothing, it certainly could be something quite significant. It's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.